I'm going to do some spalling and preforming with the hammer stones on this Obsidian. It's like a tri-flow, I guess. There's mahogany and the stripies in there. I'm going to gear up to try to do some stone and direct percussion eventually. I'm going to make some bifaces first. I'm going to try to get kind of narrow spalls. Thicker, narrower stuff, although some of them are going to go wide. I don't know what kind of hammerstone this is. I got it with where I found some day site. I like to get a look at areas if it looks like it's going to have some issues. Another small one there, check. It's a seam here. I'd like to get one right here, but this is in my way. I wish that this didn't double flake there. I wish I had that little thickness on that spall. Oh, there's a little seam in there too. Let's trim on this now. Hammerstone fragment. If there's really sharp edges on this ball, I like to trim those up so they don't get into my hand. And also, if you have a flake or a spall and it's got a lot of trimming you need to do, if you overstrike in those thin areas, it can crack. So I like to just strengthen and thicken. This ball is pretty nice because it's not too curved. Going back and forth a little bit where I anticipate having to turn the edges one way or the other. If there's a whole lot of droop, I like to take that out early. Uh-oh, what did that happen? Something dove down through or... Yeah, that flake from that tip. I've worked so much hard chert lately. That was dumb to get that flake to dive there. So much for narrow. Pinching where I'm not abrading. grinding till I feel like it's going to hold, and adding finger support to help a little bit. I'm going to bail on this shortly. This will probably end up being a corner notch point, not a lancelet. So we'll just get it in blank down, and we'll knock another ball off. Okay, a little blank. It's unfortunate that I started off on the wrong foot there. Wasn't really set up on that preform to get some nice narrow thick balls without losing a lot of length. I want to save that big piece for a longer piece, so trimming all this down, anticipating losing width early, so that my edges are turned and I can thin pretty quick. Sometimes when I'm really high and I need a little flake, I just hit real slow. I'm gonna get that little flake right there where I done turning a hinge. think I'm zoomed out too much. I don't like how that platform is rolled a little bit. That earlier looks like Dawn dish soap. There's a little seam in here. Don't really want to lose too much length, but I'm like kind of a heavy scraper. Flake broke. Sorry about the construction noise. They're tearing up the street, doing some utility in the repaired. Pretty straight. Turn this back. This will make a nice lancelet on the shorter side. There's a cone right there. Somebody hit that. Check that. Okay, that's gone. Hammerstone really can overstrike. and be real sloppy and get some nice clean flakes off of heavy edges compared to antler at this stage by a mile. Technique sometimes is I hit those high deltas just for those short flakes on the other side. It seems like you're moving it the wrong way, but it seems to do a good job. Missed that platform. It's also kind of handy to have adjacent edges, kind of friendly. Get that a little thin. I'm looking for a sharp area to get in here. That little bump right there. Short flake. Clean in from here. Boy, I'm way too zoomed out, aren't I? This little knot right there, if I can get a little smoother through there. You take the heaviness off this bottom. If you want to keep length and get a little torque on the stem, it seems like a lot of these early lancelets will have a angle. Thanks for pointing that out, Oscar. Okay, that's a good stopping point. That's going to be kind of cute with the red-orange tip. This flake is going to probably want to break through that saddle. Maybe I should take this down here just with a little one. This hammerstone is a little overkill, but... Okay, see how I did that? Now I don't have to worry about this flake widening out there, and still will widen out, but it won't hopefully break. There's a little bump right there. You're gonna catch it right there. a little too aggressive. I forgot to take the seam right here. As it widened out, that didn't help me with that crack. I'm gonna fix this thick area on the bottom or top, whichever it ends up being. Almost gone. These little edge turning flicks are pretty important. If you have a really sinuous, untidy edge and you want to do early width loss and then thinning, then it makes it harder to, you have less options because that creates places of thickness that you have to hit rather than ones that you can further modify and thin. Should I zoom in a little? Let's see here. One. There. Sorry about that before. Hopefully this is better. Every place that you want to hit, you want to make sure if you just have a big broad area turned, take a look because you're gonna get really wide flakes off areas like this. So just have in mind, you might miss sometimes, but have in mind where you want to hit so that you don't get a lot of damage. Take this down. Could be thinning a little bit more there, although I don't want to get too big a flake. Oops. This is good practice for hammer stones because things swing really slow. There. A little too much there. We need to bring that edge to center a little bit. That's good enough. That'll punch our pressure out nice. Kind of straight. And when I do a lot of hammer work for big rocks and do a lot of hammerstone work, I like to make myself make some preforms. That'll keep me, I'm out of practice on this Obsidian, but it keeps me a little bit more attentive about what I'm doing spalling, rather than just go for one nice piece and I've got a lot of undesirable or spalls that are not what I want. A little seam down here. I knew it was going to break on that spot. It went down too deep. That's in good order for a small point. Getting ready to droop early, even if you want to chip off some color that you need. I mean, if the balance of the point isn't in there, you don't want to have to get that curve out later. Might as well just cut your losses, unless you want to make a curve point, which there are some. You got to lose a bunch of width on these narrow ones with a ridge and length. But nice that was a little thicker. Still too droopy. Square up the bottom. Might be a good idea to get some tiny ridge running flakes to help with the pressure on this. Or do that. See where I was holding that? See my tiny ridge runner? And it went through right to where I was supporting that. I should have had that held a little bit back. And I probably would have got that flake. This artifact has definitely used a specialty tool. See the sharp blade? Say, ah. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I probably ought to make a big old crazy Snyder's out of this, but I didn't do a very good job of getting my arrow balls I said I was going to do. Let's get an arrow point flake here. One in there. Oh, hit that a little too thin. Nice little flake. This will be my tip, so this is going to be gone. Probably best to just go this way. Chipping down generally to the ventral side of this ball. Knowing what width you're going to lose anyhow, because you're going to lose it. Oh no, my battery's low.